Hey everybody, this is Angela. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody is having a really good day. Can you believe it? It's Wednesday already. I mean, this week has gone by so fast. Excuse me. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm eating cheesecake. So, I thought we would read some more of Who Was Amelia Earhart. Let's get into it. Gotta fix my necklace. Sorry about that. Chapter 5. Amelia becomes a hero. Amelia met with both George Putman and Amy Guest in New York. They both thought she was perfect, attractive, well educated. She got the job. The job was actually not nearly as good as it sounded. Amelia wouldn't get paid. A man named Wilmer Strauss would fly the plane. He'd get $20,000, and although Amelia was called the captain, she was really just a passenger. Why did Amelia agree? First, no woman has ever crossed the Atlantic by plane. The experience alone was enough to make Amelia go. Amelia summed up her feelings in a letter to a friend. When a great adventures offers you, don't refuse it. Don't refuse it. That's all. Amelia also hoped that if the trip was successful, all the attention could bring her other flying jobs. The flight was very dangerous. Charles Lindbergh had made the trip safely, but 14 other people had died trying to cross the ocean. 3 had been women. Still, 2 other women pilots were already planning to try it. Amelia had to move quickly if she wanted to be the first. The plane called the Friendship took off from Boston on June 3rd, 1928. However, the crew had to land in Canada because of bad weather. Many days went by. The Friendship was still not able to take off. Amelia discovered another problem. Her pilot, Wilmer Strauss, drank too much. If Wilmer got drunk, she knew he couldn't fly the plane. But, oh, sorry about that. That is my freezer. I thought it was my cell phone. Okay, let me start again. But if they did not take off soon, Amelia would lose the record. It was now or never. On June 16th, Amelia made a decision. She told Wilmer to get ready to fly. They were leaving the next morning no matter what. On the morning of June 17th, Amelia sent a cable to George Pumpman back in Boston. The cable read, Violet, cheerio, AE. Violet was a cold word. It meant that the Friendship was taking off. Through the long flight, Wilmer Strauss and his co-pilot Slim Gordon took turns flying. flying the plane. Amelia wrote notes in her journal. After 20 hours of flying, they knew they were low on fuel. Could they find land in time? The answer was yes. The Friendship touched down in Buryport, South Wales, 20 hours and 40 minutes after taking off from the Canadian coast. They had done it on June 18, 1928. Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean. What came next was a surprise for Amelia. The trip made her an instant hero. Amelia hadn't flown the plane, but people still thought she was very brave. In London, Amelia was entertained by the rich and famous. She had tea with royalty. On her return to America, Amelia was met with even more great excitement. There were parades and speeches. Crowds of people wanted to see and hear the brave female. Many people compare Amelia Earhart to the famous pilot Charles Lindbergh. They thought Amelia, who was tall and slim, even looked like Lindbergh. Amelia's nickname became Lady Lindy. George Putnam liked this a lot. He knew he could make Amelia even more famous. All the attention was hard on Amelia. Sometimes she was frightened by the push of people trying to get near her. However, Amelia was a smart woman. She knew she would have to be in the spotlight if she wanted to fly planes and break records. Amelia also knew that if people got excited about flying, then the tiny airline business would grow. Amelia hoped to be a part of that business. If Amelia made speeches, she would also be paid. That meant she could buy another airplane with her own plane. With her own plane, she could set more records. That would lead to more speeches and make more money. For the first time in her life, Amelia started to believe that she could actually make a living by flying. George Putnam became Amelia's manager. He set up lots of public appearances for her. In 6 months, Amelia made over 100 speeches and gave more than 200 interviews. Amelia did not complain about her busy schedule. She was given a new car for an appearance at an auto show. She also she also made money by letting companies use her name to advertise their products. The, the fur-lined leather Amelia Earhart flying suit became very popular in a New York department store. Amelia also became an editor for Cosmopolitan magazine and wrote a column about aviation. Amelia didn't really like to write, but the articles brought more publicity. Many of the magazine readers thought that Amelia was a good role model for young girls. In 1929, Amelia was the best known female pilot in America, but what Amelia really wanted was more time flying. So, a week before she turned 32, Amelia purchased a second-hand Locklear Vega. It was a big plane that was hard to handle, but it was built for speed and distance. As soon as possible, Amelia wanted to set more records. The first women's cross-country air race was going to be held later that summer. It was called the Women's Air Derby. Whoever flew from Santa Monica, California to Cleveland, Ohio in the shortest time would win. Amelia was eager to enter. The course, which went over the Rocky Mountains, was dangerous. The rules committee considered changing the flying path or making a male navigator go along in every plane. Needless to say, Amelia was very angry. She and other women pilots have flown many hours alone. Amelia said she would not enter the race if she couldn't fly on her own. Because of Amelia and several other female pilots, the committee backed down. The women would fly the whole course by themselves. On August 18, 1929, 20,000 people turned up in Santa Monica, California for the start of the race. There was 19 pilots, including Amelia. Many people did not take the women seriously. Will Rogers, a famous writer at the time, called the race the Powder Puff Derby. Still, by that Sunday afternoon, all 19 planes were in the air and racing against the clock. The race would take 8 days, but there were problems from the start. Planes broke down, landing fields were not in good shape. On the second day, Amelia's plane flipped over on landing. She wasn't hurt, and she was able to fix her plane and kept racing. But others weren't so lucky. Some planes went off course and crashed. One pilot died in the mountains of Arizona. On August 25th, the race was over. Only 11 of the 19 women finished. Amelia Earhart came in third. Even though she didn't win, Amelia learned a lot. She also got to know many of the best women pilots in the country. After the race, many women pilots decided it was time to start their own group. On November 2nd, 1929, 26 women met in an airplane hangar in Long Island, New York. They wondered what to call themselves. Amelia suggested that they call the club after the number of women who first joined. The other pilots liked the idea. Over the next several months, the name changed from 86 to 97. Finally, the 99s was the name that stuck. Amelia worked to get more women pilots to join. By the following summer, the 99s had almost 200 members. The group helped women pilots get jobs. The 99s also had an office where careful records of women aviation achievements could be kept. Amelia Earhart was elected for the first president of the group. Sometimes Amelia felt she didn't deserve all the praise that the public gave her, but she had truly earned the respect of the other women flyers, and it meant a lot to her. So that's the end of chapter 5. I really didn't know all of that about Amelia. The only thing I ever knew about Amelia Earhart that she was a woman pilot, and I think she tried to break the record of Charles Lindbergh, and I don't know if that is what she was doing when she disappeared or not, but she also had a hard time because men did not take women in that field very seriously. They didn't even want women to go to college. All they want was for women to get married and have kids. There's nothing wrong with that. But so I mean, women's been struggling for a long, long time. And I mean, I think we all come a long ways, but yeah, it was a struggle. So please hit like and subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I come up with a new video. And I hope you all have a good one.